So I've been doing the Triggered podcast now for a few weeks, and I figured with Father's Day coming up, we have a great opportunity to sit with the most powerful father in the world. So I have some interesting questions for you. Now, we've had some good fun in the podcast because it gets a little political, obviously, but we want to show a little bit of humor. So I have a couple questions that I think are on all of the minds of our viewers. So the first one, which is the big one also on my mind, is which is your favorite Trump child, and why is it Ivanka?
The wise guy over here. All the same, 100%.
100%?
100%. And I'll even say you only for purposes of this interview. But other than that, all the same.
Okay, well, I'm going to remember that, okay? So that's... Okay, we got to talk Twitter. Because I have had a couple calls from you from the White House saying, you know, Don, maybe you're getting a little hot on social media.
That's true.
Do you understand irony and how that works?
I do. And I think that you're getting a little hot on Twitter sometimes. You know, it's really, I don't call it Twitter, I call it social media. Mm-hmm. And it's a way of getting out to the world. And you get out to the world too, on my behalf and on the country's behalf, because you want to see good things happen. And sometimes you'll say things that you probably regret. How often does that happen to you?
Well, it's an interesting question. There are probably times I regret it, but I've sort of learned, and I think we've probably seen in the last week, sometimes sort of taking it back rather than just owning it is actually worse. You know, sort of the apology for something that doesn't necessarily need an apology. Maybe it's a hot take, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. I mean, I think the one we saw last week was Drew Brees. You know, what do you think about him sort of cowering to the mob and that whole controversy?
So I watched his first statement, which was a beautiful statement. Proud of the flag, proud of the country, proud of everything. Talk about his father and his grandfather serving. And then the following day, it was almost like, I take it back. I was shocked because I consider him a great football player, but I consider him a champion and a star. And I didn't understand what was going on, and he took it back, and I've never seen anything like it. And I think he hurt himself very badly. And I was going to put out that he'll regret that in the future years, because you stand for the flag. You have to stand for the flag and the anthem. Our national anthem, you have to stand. And I think the NFL is going to have a lot of problems if they don't. And I think the same thing with U.S. soccer. They said they're not going to have to stand. Well, if they don't stand, nobody's going to want to watch it. And I think they'll have a lot of problems. But I think the NFL will, that'll be a tremendous problem. I was very surprised. I like Roger Goodell. I was very shocked that he made that statement. It didn't even look like there was any pressure on him. He made it out of nowhere in summertime. What's he doing? Why is he doing that? So I was disappointed with Roger Goodell. I was very disappointed with Drew Brees because he was a warrior, and he just caved under the pressure. You know, a lot of warriors, they cave under PR pressure because his manager said, oh, this isn't right, and his teammates said this isn't right, and everybody said, and all of a sudden he's out there disclaiming about the flag and the country. And he doesn't, I don't believe he believes his second statement as much.
It's interesting.
By the way, he may believe it. But what he should be doing is not talking about the second. He should have stuck with his first.
Well, what was interesting is he actually put that disclaimer language the first time. He actually said, listen, I understand America's not perfect, but I respect it and my grandparents fought for it.
He should have fought through it.
So about 3 weeks ago, I found this sort of ironic. Documents that were taken in the Osama bin Laden raid, in the raid that killed Osama bin Laden with our friend Rob O'Neill, they finally declassified them. And in there were paperwork from Osama bin Laden saying that he wanted to assassinate President Obama because it would put Joe Biden in charge, and essentially he's so grossly incompetent it would lead to the destruction of America. What does it say to you that basically the Democrat nominee for President of the United States got the posthumous Osama bin Laden endorsement, that this guy is the guy that they put forth?
It says to me, I didn't know that, and it says to me, we're going to immediately make a commercial out of that, if that's true. Is that true?
It's true. I saw this. I was watching, I had Rob O'Neill on this very podcast, because he's the guy.
By the way, say no more. It's a great commercial.
Well, you're welcome.
Because it happens to be true. Okay? We speak the truth.
Well, then that's your Father's Day present. Congratulations.